All right, here we are. Welcome to Build It Through Culture Live. And I am Rob Genovese. This is Steph Belafato. We want to thank you all for joining us here. We're going to have some fun tonight, as we always do on these Thursdays. It's going to be a little dancing.
I love
this music. Right?
Turn it up.
So, turn it up. And so this is episode 4, right? Of Culture Live. And we are going through the core values. We have gone through the first 3. Today we're going to talk about the 4th. And as always, if you know what that 4th one is, we want you to put it in the comments. First person wins. All right. Hey, Debbie. Thank you for coming, Debbie. Debbie Mann is highly supportive of what we're doing. We appreciate you, Debbie. Thank you. Thank you. Looking forward to everybody else popping on. I know it's like popcorn. We got Karen Trendell in the house. Hey, Karen. Thank you for joining us. Awesome. Mary Ellen Sataro. Good to see you, Mary Ellen. Hope you're feeling better. Thank you for coming. Always good to hear from you.
Love and prayers your way.
All right. We got Mr. Barry Dorfman in the house.
Barry.
Hello, MN Beach. Thank you, Barry, for coming, as always. And here, for anybody else that's watching this, name Barry. Tell us what Barry's favorite alcoholic beverage is. Okay, there you go. So Chris Januski. Hey. Good to see you, Chris. Thank you for coming. Chris, another amazing supporter, right, Steph?
Yes.
She's awesome.
Absolutely.
She's awesome. What a great supporter.
Are you getting feedback at all?
Am I now? Are you?
Yeah, I hear myself.
Yeah. I think we're hearing ourselves. I think it could be the music. I'm not sure.
I like the music.
I like the music too, but I'm not an AV guy. So if there's feedback, I have no idea. I have no idea what's going on.
Welcome, everybody. So, Rob, tell everybody what you do.
Absolutely. So, again, I'm Rob Genovese. I'm a brand builder, and I started out my company in 2015 as a website and design company. Over 30 years as a graphic designer. That's what I'm educated in. And I needed to feed my family, so I stopped being a graphic designer and became a creative team manager for many years in corporate America. Did that for 25 years. Till I struck out on my own. And then in 2018, I evolved it into a brand strategy company, which the reason I did was because it really helped businesses win. And that was is my purpose. I just want to see people win, right, Steph? I just want to see people win.
Absolutely.
No matter what they're doing. And that's part of what we're doing here. We want people to win.
Yes. Awesome. I think that's awesome. So, and I am Stephanie Belafato, for those of you that don't know me. And I represent Servpro, and we're a fire, water, mold, biohazard remediation company. Anything you don't want to clean up, those are the kinds of things we clean up for you. But we're talking tonight about our 4th core value. So now that we have some people on here, can you tell us what the core value? Who can tell us first what the 4th core value in Master Networks is?
Before we do that, why don't we review the first 3? So
all right,
3. We'll give you some time to think about it. Don't look it up, okay? The honor system. Don't look it up. I want to see if you know it. Actually, know it cold, because the first one is
relationships first and foremost, right? That's the key. That's the most important thing. That's the most important thing, not just in business, but in life, right? Like without building a relationship, what do you have?
Absolutely. There's nothing else. In fact, you don't get anything in life without relationships. And then that second one,
constant improvement.
You got it. Constant improvement. You don't improve once and say, well, I'm glad that's over with. I'm so much better today than I was yesterday. So I'm glad it's done. Right. So it's constant. This was last episode.
Contribution. Absolutely.
Yeah. That one gets a little serious, right? Because we're talking about giving back.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah. And helping other people and giving time is the one thing you can give and never get back. So that's the most valuable thing that you can give to somebody, that you can contribute, is your time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, look at People are posting in there. Number
I
4.
want to know what's up with Karen. I wonder why do you
Oh,
want to clean your house?
well, because I said we'll clean all the things that you don't want to clean. So she says, "Can you
I
clean
know you
my
mean your house.
house?" We could do that.
Yeah, that's right. Steph will dispatch her crew to come clean your house, vacuuming, dusting.
Yeah, we do. Well, we do. We don't do like a Mary Maid's clean. We do like a deep clean, right? So it's a little bit different, but it would be it would be a deep clean for sure.
And Karen's on fire tonight. Look at this. It should be spelled relationships.
She's right.
I never heard that before.
Right.
That's a good one.
I love that, Karen.
That was good.
It's so true, right? Because nobody wants, there are plenty of phony people out there, right? That will pretend, right? But, hopefully most people are smart enough to see, well, sometimes, people can be very, not the way we want them to be, but,
Yeah. I mean, I hear a lot of people give lip service. They're like,
yeah,
"Oh, I'm all about relationships," and they
yeah,
say, I mean, I didn't know either until I was really taught through Master Networks how to build relationships, a methodology to building a relationship and deepening it and making it meaningful. Because otherwise, people are just going, "Yeah, I build relationships. Yeah, I meet you, you meet me, we do coffee, we exchange cards, and that's it. And I can put you in my CRM," and they think that's a relationship.
yeah. That's not a relationship. That's not even, that's the, I don't even know.
Mary
I
Ellen's
don't
going
know.
like,
Yeah. Mary Ellen's like,
thumbs
yeah,
up,
no,
thumbs down,
no.
thumbs up, thumbs down.
Right. That's not a relationship.
No.
Don't be fooled by that. That is so not a relationship.
Okay, so we can talk about the fourth core value. Looks like
Wait,
people.
did anybody answer what Barry Dorfman's favorite alcoholic beverage
Oh yeah,
is?
if you get extra bonus points for that. Just put it in the chat. We want to know if you were here last episode and you were paying attention. We should, Steph. Somehow we got to come up with prizes, like legit prizes.
I know.
Give
I know. We
people.
should think about that.
I,
We
I
really
like-
should.
I would love to give away prizes, right?
Yeah,
This
that
show
would be
sponsored
fun.
by Apple.
Right. That
We'll
would be
give you
fun.
AirPods.
Totally fun.
Okay, today we're not giving away anything, just to be clear, but we wish we did. Anyway, you get bonus points, you get high fives, you get extra props, and we'll put you up here. But just put it in there. Even Barry says, even I don't know. Well, you put it in the chat last time.
Okay, but he put his favorite wine in the chat.
Oh, his favorite wine.
His favorite wine. So, do you know what Barry's favorite wine
Yeah,
is?
there you go. That's a good
That's
question.
what he actually put.
Yeah. So while you're thinking about that, we got some answers to core value number 4, and I'm gonna give it to who should we give it to first? Well, the first person who got it.
First person
Debbie
who
Mann.
got it. Yeah.
Hey, Debbie. She got it. Accountability.
Right, Debbie.
So accountability is our number 4 core value. And these are the Master Network's core values, which I've adopted because, well, frankly, they were better than the core values I had. They were more in line with how I wanted to behave. And, that's part of this is, these core values you should be amplifying through what you do, right?
Absolutely. So I'd like to ask everybody tonight. Should I ask my question yet? Or actually, wait a minute. I don't want to ask my question yet. You know what I want to find out? Was anybody listening to the music when we first came on? And do you know the name of that song? That's what I want to know first.
Oh, yeah. The name of the song only.
And who sings it? So let's
start.
A
bonus. That's a bonus.
Yeah, that's the bonus. That's the bonus.
See, we want you guys hopping on early, and then we want you to share this on your Facebook feed and get people coming here, because if you're having fun, and Debbie's a great supporter, Mary Ellen, Barry, these people are here every week, and we really appreciate you guys. But share this on your Facebook profile. Bring people here, because it's a lot of fun to do on a Thursday night, right?
Yeah, and they can watch it too. So click that share button. So who knows what song Rob was playing when we first came on? Does anybody know?
Maybe we need to let them think about it for a while.
Yeah, let's think about it. Let's think about it.
Think about it.
Hey, Phil is in the house. Hey, Phil, TGIF, my friend.
TGIF. Thank God it's Phil. FIL. You guys rock. You rock, Phil. You're awesome. I just spoke with Phil earlier. We were talking with
Oh,
Phil.
did you?
Yeah, I like
I
talking with
love
Phil.
I love
He's a good
Phil.
dude. He's a
He
good
is a
dude.
good dude. He is a good dude. So, oh, I don't know.
Barry,
I don't know.
Barry, I think you said that last time, by the way, too. So if we ever make the song Inagata Davida, then you'd be right. But I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. Oh, look, we got Cameron Toth in the house.
Oh, hey, Cameron. Hey, maybe you should
Is
play.
Dev live? We are
Maybe.
live.
Oh, look what Larry just put in there.
Captain.
Captain and Tennille. Hey, maybe you should play a little bit more of that song. Can you do it?
No, I'm
You
not going
can't?
to. I'm going to
You're
play
not
it later. I'll play later.
all right.
Play it later because I want them to stew over for a little bit and wondering, Murray, Iron Butterfly. Is
I
that who
love it.
sings Inagata Davida? Donna? Is that Iron Butterfly who sings Inagata Davida? I think so. I think it's even before my time, and I'm not that young anymore. So we got Mr.
Oh, look.
Robert Larson's in the house.
Mr.
Here I am.
Larson here. Hello, Robert.
Good to have you, Robert Larson. And Donna says, "Yeah, Iron Butterfly sings Inagata Davida," but that is not the song I was playing. Imagine why I would play that song.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's Barry's, bad dad joke humor.
Yeah, I know. I'm just wondering if Larry Larry, did you really listen to Captain Tennille? I just can't picture that.
Hey, I listened to Captain and Tennille.
But talk about Larry. Larry doesn't look like a Captain and Tennille fan.
Larry, did you really listen to Captain and Tennille? We want to know.
And if
Inquiring
so,
minds
what's your
want to know.
favorite song? I had a crush on Toni Tennille as a little kid. I did.
Oh, did you?
Oh my gosh, I had such a crush on her. I thought she was that was back with you're a former hairstylist. Remember there was that Dorothy Hamill type haircut?
Oh, yeah.
Really famous.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
Yep.
man, that was nice. I like that. Larry says yes. Favorite song, Larry. Favorite song. We want to hear
it. Yeah. What's your favorite song by Captain and Tennille?
And if we had an audio guy, if we had a DJ here, we'd have him queuing up some.
Oh, we would. That would be fun. Oh my God. We have to do like a dance party or something one night, we'll have to figure something out.
Yeah, somehow we need like a production crew. Hey, if you're into that kind of thing, let us know. And if it can be done, we'd like to know how to do it because we want
to know. Teach us. We're always, constant improvement. We're always looking to learn new things, right?
Phil wins. He didn't win the song I played,
but
he beat Larry.
Keep it together. I loved that song.
Were there any other hit songs? There must have been.
I'm so bad, Rob, at the names of songs. I could sing the lyrics, cue it up, and I could sing every lyric, but I can't tell you the name of it.
Look at Donna says, "Love to not keep them together." I got divorced 3 times. That's great.
Oh God, that's
now Larry is just no, this is Barry. Larry's 3 favorite bands: Captain Tennille, ABBA, and the Osmonds.
The Osmonds. I used to watch the Osmonds too.
Okay, here's the trivia. Which one of the Osmonds, the 2 Osmonds that ran the show, which one was a little bit country and which one was a little bit rock and roll?
Rock and roll. That's right.
Donna was a huge fan, so Muskrat Love and Do It Again.
Do It Again.
Robert's like Rock the Boat.
Rock the boat. Rock the boat, baby. Rock the boat.
That was somebody else.
I think that's probably why he has the question mark there.
Tina Campbell's in the house.
Hey, Tina.
And Tina Campbell is in the house. And for those of you who don't know, Tina Campbell is the queen of culture.
And you should know her. If you don't know her, you need to know her.
Yeah. And not only does Tina know about culture, but Tina knows Captain and Tennille. Marie
was the country. Donnie was the rock and roll.
Donnie was a little bit rock and roll. Yep. That's right, Robert. He was no, you got it wrong. You got it wrong. That's backwards. That's backwards. Okay, and Tina's with Kathleen Troy. Hey, Kathleen.
Oh, hey, Kathleen.
You can,
Oh,
you can man the
two of my
comments too.
favorite people.
Yeah, Kathleen's awesome.
Well, everybody's my favorite people, right? All the people I know are my favorite people. I shouldn't say that because I love everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. And
All right.
I think we're
So I
supposed to
should
talk about
probably, yeah, I think I should probably get to my question of the night. What do you think?
it's a good
Because
idea.
we're talking about accountability
Yeah.
tonight, people. That's number 4 of the core values of Master Networks is accountability. So start putting in the chat, how do you use accountability in your business and in your life, right? So share with Rob and I, what do you do to hold yourself accountable or in your business and in life? And interested minds want to know, people.
We want to know. Yeah, because everybody, and it's funny because if you ask in some rooms what accountability is, you get slightly different answers. And I have my perspective on accountability. I'm kind of I got a little pet peeve because I always told my kids when they were little, how little kids give excuses for the things that
Yeah.
they did, and they try and deny, and they try and give like 13 excuses. And I would tell my kids, and they'd be, people think like I'm a pushover dad because I have 4 kids, 3 older ones are girls, and then my son was the 4th. But when my girls were little, like 5, 6, 7 years old, people think I'm a pushover because I had girls, like because they're daddy's little girls. I wasn't. I was like, listen, so I don't give excuses and I don't take them. So no more excuses.
You know what I used to do, Rob? Here's what I learned early on. I have 2 boys, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I learned early on when I would give them a task, whether it was a chore around the house or something, right? I would get frustrated because they would say, "Oh, yeah, Mom, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it." And I finally learned, I was like, okay, so can you give me a time frame that you'll have that done by? So it's 10 o'clock in the morning right now. So you tell me when you can get the task done. And they would say something like, "Oh, I'll have it done by 2." And I'd say, okay. And if it's not done by 2 o'clock, you tell me what your consequence is going to be. Wow. Right? Because I gave them then the control.
Yeah.
And
you're
then
a genius parent because I never came up with good stuff like that. I was just like,
no, and then I'm not the bad guy, right? I asked you, you told me, and if you didn't get it done, you even gave me what the punishment or the consequence was going to be, like no video games, or you didn't get to go somewhere, or, I put it in their hands.
And I bet you followed through on that punishment too.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, yeah.
And I actually had my older one was always the one that liked to debate with me all the time, right?
Oh, really?
And I remember instinctively one of these times we were preparing to go to a birthday party or something. And I said, okay, well, we all have chores to do. Let's get these chores done first, and then we'll have a great time at the party. And he wanted to argue with me for about a half hour. And I said, oh, you know what now? You just wasted my half hour. So that half hour that I was going to be scrubbing the toilet and cleaning the bathroom, now you get to do that too, on top of the chores that you already have.
I bet, you got some good young men right now, right? Because you raised them.
Yeah. That only happened a couple of times, and he caught on real quick that I was not playing. Like, we're a team here.
Yeah,
right? And that's their job. Their job is to test you, right? Like we all did it.
Yeah.
I did it. Blow, Coach Blow.
Blow is in the house.
Frankie's saying hi too.
So we were, hey, Frankie, you got to bring him up. If he comes near you, you got to pick him up because I got to see him. But so I was saying before, one of my pet peeves about accountability is, and look, it's just me. Please don't hate on me for this. I just feel like people want accountability partners and accountability teams. And I get that has its place. But ultimately, if you have an accountability partner team, it should start with you. To me, accountability is ownership. If you own it, like if it's your goal, why would you make somebody else accountable for your goal to hold you accountable? If you said it's something you want to achieve, why is somebody else going to hold you to it? And so I
Right.
wrestle with it because I get it has its, I get the strategy behind it because when you
Right.
tell somebody else, you're more likely to do it. But to me, it's kind of like a crutch. So I don't know. I know this it could be a little bit polarizing, and some people don't feel that way. That's kind of the way I look at it because I like to hold myself accountable.
Yeah,
And
I was, I would say to the kids too when they were younger, you might think you're pulling the wool over my eyes sometimes. And sometimes I let you do that because there's a lesson in that, right? So you have to rest your head on your pillow at night. And if you're okay with the answers you give yourself, then it doesn't matter what I say to you.
yeah, yeah. And I actually, the version I heard of an accountability partner was the best in my mind, and it was this. It was an accountability partner who you tell them your goal, or you tell them what you're going to do, right? Like Phil says here, do what you say you are going to do. So you tell that partner what you're going to do. And here's the most powerful thing for me. They never ask you if you followed through, but you do meet with them weekly. They never ask you. And so in your own mind, they're thinking it. And did you do it? They're not
Yeah,
going to.
they're waiting to find out if you're going to share that with them, right?
Right.
They're
Right.
waiting to see what you say.
Yeah. I thought
So,
that was the best
you
one.
know, when I was thinking about tonight and what we were going to talk about, so here was, it just dawned on me because I shared it with someone today. At the beginning of last year, right? The first meeting, our first meeting in the new year, I asked the question in the room to every member of our chapter, how many face to faces are you going to commit to this year? And the vice president, Saini, wrote down everybody's number. And today I was looking to see how many face to faces that I did. Just the ones that I did that I was able, that the ones that I remembered and recorded through Master Networks.
Yeah.
And I committed to 199 and I did almost 400.
Whoa.
Just to Master Networks. That's doesn't include other people that I do face to faces with, right?
So you did what you said you were going to do, and just a little bit extra, just to make sure.
Just I always got to do a little extra,
A
Rob,
little bit, like double. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Like, look,
And
but
that's
look, you're holding yourself accountable. Robert says being an adult.
yeah.
I don't know if it makes me an adult because I'm still a little kid, but I get
Well,
it.
and we all look sometimes, and I think we all do it sometimes. You set a goal, and you set a goal. You're supposed to, or from what I understand, you're always supposed to set your goals even farther than what you may believe you can achieve, right? To push yourself.
Right.
So it's not to say, oh, you didn't do that, like to be reprimanded. It's like, it's to push yourself a little bit farther out of
Yeah.
your comfort zone, right?
Yeah.
So, if you didn't achieve the goal, that's okay.
I had a coach of mine say one time, he said, the only reason you set a goal is to get your butt in gear.
Right.
Because
It's to push
otherwise, it's
you,
like,
right?
"Oh,
Just
I'm
like
going
they
to
said,
start it. I'm
push
going to
you.
get around to it." Right. And there's some truth to that. Obviously, you do want to have results and hit the goal. But until you set it, it's kind of like on your to do list. I'm going to get around to that. But when you make it a serious goal, he was right. It compels you to act. And
Right.
so once you get moving, then okay, you're on your way.
Right.
But we have people talking about accountability, but I don't really see. Steph asked, "What do you do in your business or life that exhibits accountability?" So we want to know some maybe tactics, some strategies, what you're actually
Yeah.
doing.
Share with us what you do.
Yeah,
Um, I set that goal, right? I said I'm going to do 199 face to faces. And I
Now, how can
tracked it, right? And like Tina has here, we have the hub for tracking, right? So for those of you that aren't taking advantage of the hub, it's there for you. You know, that's what it's there for. Use the hub.
yeah, all these tools to help you help
Right.
yourself.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know, here's a Larry's a stud in my book. Hold myself accountable to be at the gym at 4:30.
Yeah, well, that guy only gets a couple hours sleep a night. Like, let's call it what it is, okay?
To get
4:30 in the morning,
to get
not
his
doing it.
day started. Dude, the sun ain't even up yet. So the day is not started. You're ending your nighttime.
Right.
Oh my gosh. And Debbie says talking about our goals with others is a natural way to hold ourselves accountable. All right. Kind of what we were saying before. But I don't want
Absolutely.
people to go, so how'd you make out? They should never have to ask. I guess that's the point. Nobody should ever have to ask how you're doing with your goals. You should be able to go to them. Hey, by the way, I want to let you know I hit that goal that I told you about.
Right. Or, hey, by the way, I'm still struggling. You know what? I could use a little push or a little encouragement.
Right. That's more in line with accountability because it is all on you and it's just somebody else that can kind of facilitate you doing it, but you got to do it. I think that's the point, right?
Absolutely.
You
Look,
got
it all comes back to you, right? Just like at the end of the day, you are accountable to yourself. And
yeah.
if you're okay with the answers that you give yourself and you can put your head down on your pillow at night,
All right. Absolutely. Sorry, I'm laughing over here.
the gym is a bar.
Oh, I thought Larry was working out. Well, he was lifting 12 ounces at a time.
Yeah, yeah, that bar,
That's great.
he's holding up the bar.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's good. So accountability, and as far as accountability, I know in my business, in my life, I kind of went through, I guess, stages of understanding what accountability meant because I was highly unaccountable at one point in my life because that was the years I was a mess. I didn't really know what the heck was going on with life or how to do anything really in a successful way. So the accountability part, it was a bit of a learning curve because I was a lazy guy. I was lazy, man. I didn't want to do anything. And although I had these dreams and ambitions, they were like clouds. They were just up there all the time. And sometimes they'd be in view and sometimes they'd not be in view. And there's really nothing to commit to. But once I started learning strategies for winning, strategies for creating success, and we're talking about core values and culture, right? So the bigger picture is the culture to create a successful organization. And that could be your business, it could be your family,
Right. Absolutely.
anything you
Why
want.
wouldn't you use that in every aspect of your life?
Yeah.
It's not just about business.
And I think this is need to
Don't
go back to this for a second because you said this. You were the first person I heard say this, what culture was.
how you make people feel. It's always good. I think everything and relationships too, right? They're either going to be strong or weak based on how you make someone feel.
Yeah.
People will either you'll make them feel in such a way that they're comfortable enough to continue to share and peel back those layers, or
Absolutely.
you'll make them feel like, oh, I'm going to curl up in a ball and go hang out in the corner by myself, right? Because I don't
Yeah.
want to share anymore if you're going to make me feel a certain way, right?
Right. Right. It's always uplifting, always encouraging. Look, life is tough enough. People don't need other people to make them feel uh, bad about something they did or didn't do or whatever. Look, we're all people. We all got struggles. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's better than anybody else. So if we're
Nope.
just looking out for each other, that culture is gonna be a winning culture because you can't do anything without, again, those relationships with other people.
Yeah. Yeah. I like some of these comments. Uh, Chris Januski said, I recently completed Teresa Safali's course up for planning. Teresa is awesome with that, right?
Yeah,
Productivity. She really is. So, it's so, she does such a great job.
she does. I mean, that's kind of her hard wiring too. I know Teresa pretty well. We talk all the time. She's hardwired for that efficiency, that productivity. She's a hard worker, and she's channeled that hardworking ethic into figuring out how to not just be productive, but to lead a fulfilling life and the life you want in
Right.
a productive manner.
Yeah, so
If
that
you
you're
have
not
never
just doing so you're not just doing busy work, right? So that the work that you're doing is fulfilling. It's fulfilling in several ways, obviously monetarily, but fulfilling your soul too, not just, that you do this thing from this time to this time and this is what it brings, financially to you.
So we got we're at 7:31. So we have every
Oh.
episode we do this, right? You want to tee this one up?
So we have a special guest tonight. Um,
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know if I don't know if I want to just surprise them. So he
Well, we're
is
going to talk
a
about accountability. The
yeah,
surprise guest knows this.
yep.
And do we have the audience guess? Should we have them guess who it could
Oh
be?
yeah, guest to who do you think is going to be our surprise guest tonight? Put in the chat
Oh,
who
put it
you
in the
think
chat.
is our surprise
If you-
guest.
if your Master Networks family, if you think of somebody who you think of accountability and see who comes to mind, that's probably the best way to
Yeah.
try and come up with somebody. But you got to do it fast because we're running out of time. We want to bring this person on. Robert Larson says Phil R. Tigliano TGIF. Donna says Santa. Not yet, Donna. Not yet. Hope you were good though, because we may
Close.
have him on. We have AB Gabor. Okay.
Gabor. Okay.
All right. Okay. He's a good. We have another vote for Phil TGIF. Nobody knows his last name, by the way. Nobody knows.
Larry says Cameron.
Cameron. Teresa.
Maggie says
Safali.
Teresa.
Wow. Look at all these guesses.
Hello, look at all this.
Yeah. Well, how about we do this? The person just happens to be on the feed. So who
Yeah.
is it now?
Oh, yeah. So who is it? Yeah, this person is on the
All right,
feed.
Tina. Person is on the feed.
So
Go.
Tina's letting everybody know what Phil's last name is.
Yeah. Tigliano. In case you didn't know, it's not TGIF.
Right.
Not Tina. No, it's not. It's not Rick. And it's not Tina Campbell. It's not Tina Campbell, although she would be great to have on. Okay, nobody knows. That's
Come
what I love.
on.
That's why it's a big surprise. We gotta bring this
see?
person on because now we're 3 minutes in and we're
Yeah.
stealing their time. We want to
Yep.
bring them on. So welcome to Build It Through Culture Live, Mr. Robert Larson.
Hello, everyone.
Let me take this off. So,
Hello,
look at us with
Robert.
the clear faces.
Good
Welcome,
evening.
Robert. Thank you for coming.
How are you?
I am doing very well. Thank you for having me tonight.
Thank you for joining
It
us.
was a surprise for me and an honor.
So, for those of you that don't know Robert, Robert is the new president of the Armonk New York chapter. And Robert, why don't you share with everybody what you do?
So, I am a dental law attorney. I work with dentists for all of their legal needs. However, I do not do litigation. So, I actually get to enjoy my job and not fight with people, which suits me very, very well.
A lawyer who doesn't like to fight. That's a good dude.
Yeah.
I didn't say I didn't like to fight. I said I didn't have to.
Okay. He'll fight if he has to.
That's a categorical difference there.
That's good. And you and I met. I think it was earlier this year. I remember we hopped on a phone call, like an impromptu phone call, and I'm not sure why. If you had a question or something, and I think we were gonna have a face to face, but we hopped on a phone call. We ended up talking for like a half hour, and you were brand new. I don't even know if you were a member yet. I don't know if you remember that. And I just thought, I went back to, I think Tina or somebody. I'm like, I just spoke with this guy, Robert Larson. This guy's great. What a good guy. So you're a good asset, a good member to Master Networks. We appreciate you coming on here for sure.
Well, so Phil Rutigliano, who I know from church, is the one who got me here. So I actually do know his name. I even know how to spell it. And he brought me here. And I can't tell you how much it has benefited me personally and professionally, being able to be, in here with all of you.
Well, you've got fans here for sure.
And the funny part is I'm fans of all of theirs too. It's been,
that's what happens, right? Because you're
Yep.
building those relationships, Robert, right?
Yep.
It starts with that relationship. And look,
Mhm.
I didn't know you before you, joined Master Networks, and you and I have become very good friends. And I say
Mhm.
this all the time, people. We don't just do business here together. We do life together, right? Thank you, Sammy Vecchiola, for my beautiful mug that I love so much. We spend time outside of 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And a mixer or a meetup. We spend time together, all of us.
Or socially, just us together, not in a
Right.
mixer or a meetup. So
That's what I mean. Outside of
yeah.
a mixer or a meetup, like, Gene and I came to yours and Steven's for a Sunday afternoon, and we went to lunch and we went on your beautiful boat and we had a great day, right?
Mhm.
You had a Halloween party. There was a bunch of us that were there. That was a great time too. So, we do this outside of Monday through Friday.
Yep.
Yeah. So we work during the week and then we play after hours.
Right. Right.
Let's talk about accountability, because I want to make sure we get to some of this, because I want Robert's perspective on some of this. And it just, the thought came to my mind, if somebody's hiring an attorney who is supposed to dot every I, cross every T, right? They're looking out for your best interest. And I hire one and they don't show up. They're late, or they forgot their paperwork. How does that make an attorney, of all people, an attorney? But talk to us about accountability and maybe what it means in your profession and your life.
So when you guys asked me to come, I thought, well, so everybody talks about accountability and we all have this nebulous concept of it, and we all basically understand it. But what does it actually mean? And so the Oxford Dictionary says that it's the fact or condition of being accountable, responsibility, which to me, that's just as nebulous. But Black's Law Dictionary, which is kind of like the legal dictionary for attorneys, defines it as when one party must report its activities and take responsibility for them. It is done to keep them honest and responsible. So while they're very similar, they're still kind of different. In attorneys, first off, all of us are accountable to our clients. Have we listened to our clients? Have we communicated with our clients? And have we done what was our client's goal? Whether that's in cleaning up a flood or doing marketing or drafting an asset purchase agreement, we're ultimately responsible for our clients. Now, being a licensed professional in the state of New York, not only am I responsible to my clients, I'm also responsible to the state bar, which, I think you guys and I talked about it. The New York State Bar is a lot of things. It is not merciful. So when you stick your foot in the mud, they're going to be there, and they're not going to be nice about it. So they're supposed to keep attorneys accountable to each other. But it's also interesting because, I'm not just a professional being, I'm accountable to my spouse, as most of us are. Some of you are accountable to your children. Are you saying and doing things and then following through on them? And that was what I thought about. I don't have a coach or anything like that, but I think it's interesting that Debbie, I write down everything. So I'll have lists, and it's like, okay, I keep going back to that list, and until it's done, that's kind of how I keep myself responsible, kind of on a daily or every other day basis.
Well, that's a great way, right?
Yeah.
That's a great way to keep yourself responsible and accountable.
Yes.
Like you said, you were going to do 1, 2, 3, and
Mhm.
4. And I do that too. I make a list and then and it's so rewarding
To
when you
scratch
make
those
the
things
list
off.
and scratch it off the list.
Uh-huh.
Right? It's so rewarding. That's so rewarding.
But you know, the thing that I meant about specifically when I said be an adult. So my last 2 jobs, I surprised my supervising attorneys because I would do something wrong and they would come to me and they would be like, and I'd go, "You're correct. I did that incorrectly. And thank you for pointing it out to me. And I won't be doing that again." And they would be like, it was like having a balloon coming at you and all of a sudden it just deflated. They're like, "Well, what am I supposed to do with the fact that you admitted what you've done incorrectly? You took responsibility for it and you said you would learn from it and cross your fingers. You won't do it again." And my bosses were like, "Well, what do I do with that now? I have to go, storming off upset because I don't get to be upset at you anymore. You've
Because you
acted
owned it. Because you owned
responsible."
it.
Exactly.
And I just want to say that. So go back to that. Was it Black's Law Dictionary? What was that definition again? Can you recite that again, please?
When one party must report its activities and take responsibility for them. And notice it doesn't say to who.
How many parties?
One party.
One. Not
I am responsible
your accountability
for my
partner.
actions. Exactly.
That's the part I love because, and that's what you did in that example. Was, they came to you and was like, "Oh," and they're ready to blast you, right? Because they want to rip into you because you're the newbie.
Yep.
And you're like, "Yeah, I did it wrong.
You're the low man on the totem pole."
And that's it. And all of a sudden it goes away because accountability is what you did. You took it yourself.
Yeah. And it's lovely to watch someone get deflated and be like, "Oh, well, okay." And it's like,
yeah.
What else are you going to say?
Because they're not used to that, right? They're not used to something. Look, we're human.
If you're accountable for your behavior, it makes
all of us are human. We're all going to make mistakes. We're all, and a lot of them. A lot of mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes. I'll own it. Hello, I made a lot of mistakes.
And continue
we all
to
do it.
So here's my most recent mistake. I always tell my clients, get people who know what they're doing. Get Rob to build brands for you. Don't be your own Google attorney. Don't be your own Google doctor. Don't be your own Google IT person. I bought a computer. I did not ask an IT person what would be the best thing for me to buy. So $1,900 later, I have a brand new computer and a computer that's 6 months old because it's like I was really not happy with myself, but it's like, okay, so that's my screw up.
Right.
Well, now I have to buy a new computer because I wasn't responsible enough to say, I don't know this stuff. I'm not a computer guy. I own one. That's it. And so now I have to take the responsibility of, okay, I'm accountable for the fact that I was not doing what I should have been doing.
And here's the bonus, like what Chris said. They also respect you more for owning it instead of excuses. Amen, Chris.
I'll tell you, that is so true, Chris, because you know what? There are times when you make a mistake. If you make a mistake, even with a client, right, or a customer, it's how you correct that mistake. That's what they're going to remember. And chances are they'll then become your customer or client for life.
People are a lot more forgiving when you say, I've done this, I've made a mistake, I did something wrong, and this is the plan of correction.
Right.
Than they are if you try to hide behind, well, so-and-so said to do it.
Yeah.
You are not. The buck stops here. This is the problem.
Came at it a little bit from the same kind of perspective. You're accountable to yourself, right? When you're the one creating the list, you can be the one saying what items can be skipped, right? So that's ownership. What Gene, I think, is saying right there, that's ownership. And look, I'd rather have somebody that's going to not just own up to a mistake or own up to the task that they're accountable for, but owning it, taking responsibility for every part of it,
and the good too
to get done.
But the good too. So if you reach that goal, right, or you made a commitment and you fulfilled that commitment, then you should feel good about that too, right? It shouldn't just be that, oh, you made a mistake. Like the good, the bad, and the ugly, all of it. Own it all.
Absolutely. If you're just checking in with us now, we are going to, where is it? I had it somewhere. We were talking about accountability Got Mr. Robert Larson here talking about accountability, the fourth core value. And we're talking about some of the things we do to not just hold ourselves accountable, but I'd say be accountable. So the tactics, how you do that.
So,
and especially if you're an entrepreneur or solopreneur yourself, right? It's, you are relying, like Gene said, you're relying on yourself, right?
Mhm.
You don't have someone that you have to answer to. You answer to yourself. And like I said earlier, if you're okay with the answers you give yourself and you can put your head on your pillow at night, then it doesn't matter what anybody else says to you, right?
And I think for a lot of people who are in our position, a lot of us are, kind of type A little OCD about what we're doing. And so we're our own worst critics. So, be gentle on yourself, be kind, but also realize that these things that, so it almost seems like we're talking about, the things that you're doing wrong, but even the things you're doing right and the things you're doing wrong are helping you grow. Pay attention to both of them. Why was the thing you did right? Right. Why was the thing you did wrong? Wrong.
I think that comes
looking at yourself,
to the ownership.
Exactly.
Yeah, just own it.
Right. So when you own a business, right? So here's a difference. And years ago, a mentor of mine, he was saying, some of the hardest thing we do, and this was a mentor I had in business ownership, in taking people like myself who were job guys and trying to teach them about business ownership. And there's a lot of tasks, there's a lot of things you need to do. And he said the hardest thing that we do in training people is to help them shift to that business ownership mindset. Because the employee mindset is, oh, I've got these 7 tasks I'm responsible for and I do them. But if you own a business, all 36 million tasks are yours. So you own it all and you have to get it done. So there's an accountability.
Then you delegate, right?
If you need to, sure. But I love the ownership part of it.
Right. A lot of times you end up, if there's that many tasks, then you have to delegate to other people to do those
So
tasks.
I have a question for Robert. Robert, so are you, in what you do in dental law, are you working on your own or do you have a team? Do you have an assistant?
So I work on my own.
You do. So everything is on you. So now we're talking about clients who are high earners. It's a serious business, right? We're talking about basically healthcare, right? It's dental.
They're highly educated and they're making very good money.
Right. So you can't make a mistake. We all make mistakes, but right. So the accountable part is they're expecting
I can make a mistake, but how I handle it is the defining part there.
Okay.
Right.
So how do you handle that when you do make a mistake with a client, knowing that the stakes are that high?
Honesty, like you were talking about earlier, ownership. I also don't stick my foot out where I don't know, which is why I practice such a narrow area of law. Don't ask me about. I don't do real estate. I don't do rules and estates. I don't do family law. None of that stuff.
Right.
I have a very, very specific wheelhouse, and I'm really, really good at it because I've done it for a really long time. And that's where I stick. So luckily, through time, I've ironed out a lot of the wrinkles, which does not mean that I'm a human being and I'm fallible. Don't tell my husband. But
stand right behind you.
But luckily, because of my experience, a lot of that stuff, but there are still things, that get messed up sometimes. Luckily, a lot of times clients don't know what they don't know. So they may not necessarily realize. It's like, okay, well, I best fix this real quickly. But it's being an adult, keeping ownership of it.
Yeah.
All of this
that
is
honesty part.
And
when you said you're being honest, some people have a hard time doing that. So that's where the excuses come in, because they don't want to make, they want everybody to think that they're perfect. Oh, I got this handled. That you might lose confidence, when actually the opposite is true. If it's a good person you're doing business with, they know that nobody's perfect. And if you just own up to the mistake and say, look, I made a mistake here, I'm fixing it. There's studies that have proven that companies that make a mistake and don't own up to it lose loyalty. But when the
Mhm.
same company makes a mistake and they own up to it and make it right, loyalty by
Yep.
that same customer increases even
Right.
more than before the mistake.
Well,
That's what
so
I meant before when I said what I said, right? So that customer now or that client will be your client for life, right?
mhm,
Because you taught them you showed them your integrity when
mhm.
you made that mistake.
Yeah.
So there have been like you said, there have been studies about malpractice law. People who get have malpractice committed by a physician, and they find that most of the people who sue had the physician said, "I screwed this up. I did this incorrectly, and I am sorry." Notice culpability. I am sorry for what happened. That most of the people say they would never have brought a lawsuit against the physician.
Hmm.
But
That's
the
the human
problem
side.
with healthcare is that most physicians, what's the difference between God and a doctor? Well, God doesn't think he's a doctor. Um,
Good one.
yeah, having worked there, I know that
That's good.
intimately.
Hey, I bet you Larry thought that was a good joke too. And Barry.
Larry and Barry.
But so it's that ownership of. We keep talking about the things you've done wrong. You get to have ownership also of the things you've done well.
Yeah, that's
Those are
yeah.
the things that, when a client comes to you, you say, I can help you build your brand. I can help you market it. This is how I've done it. This is how I've been successful with it.
Right.
When clients come to me, I tell them, how many practice sales or purchases have I done this year? 50. You do this once every 20 years, maybe 30.
Right.
I do this all the time. So not to toot my own horn, but I'm good at it. Just like you're going to tell me you're really good at putting an implant in.
Right. Right.
And I certainly hope so. I'm good at these things. Am I
Yeah.
perfect? Am I perfect? No, as long as Stephen doesn't hear that. But this is the product that I have to offer, and hopefully, you will find it as valuable as what I believe it to be.
Yeah.
And
Robert,
like I said, my clients will keep me honest about it. Your clients all keep you honest about it, and that's what they're there for.
Yeah.
Robert, we appreciate you coming on. I just want to say, so I got this sign back here called Focus, and this was actually created by Renee Pride, who's a regional partner with Messenger Networks. Her daughter, her 10-year-old daughter, is an entrepreneur, created this for me. But the Focus, I love what you said. Like, I know dental law. This is all I know, and I'm really
Mhm.
good at it. That focus is what
Mhm.
makes you highly valuable. So I just want to say, if you're
Mhm.
out there and you know anybody in the dental field, you're going to want to put them in touch with Robert because he knows exactly what to do. If they're using a general attorney, those guys, those people don't know as much about the biz as Robert does because this
Yeah.
is all he deals with. So people who focus are some of the best at what they do. And we're going to have to bid you farewell for today, Robert, as we wind down. But we want to thank you for coming on. Really
Thank
appreciate
you,
it.
Thank you
Robert.
for having me. It's been wonderful, wonderful. I really so appreciate it.
We appreciate you being here. Thank you so
All
very
right.
much. And we'll see you later.
All right. He's a good guy. He's a good,
He is.
solid.
He's a great guy. He's a great guy. So
I
if
was
you don't
wondering
know
when
him,
Rachel was
get
going to
to know
show
him.
up. I was wondering.
Oh, there she is.
Finally showed up.
Yeah,
Sometimes
she's
accountability
right.
leadership is taking ownership,
Even if
even
it's
for the
not
things that are
your
not my
fault.
fault. It's never
That's right.
pointing. She's right.
Yep. You're so right, Rachel. So right.
That's absolutely. So we were talking about accountability today, and just want to say that we're on core value number 4, which means there's only one more after this. But here's the thing: if you've been watching and hanging out with us, well, thank you. We appreciate you coming over these past episodes. We are going to wind up after that 5th core value with there's a culture formula here. So we're talking about culture, right? And how you can build anything through culture, whether it's your family, whether it's your business. Culture is the key to it. But here's the thing: we have these core values, but there's a culture formula.
Yep.
A culture formula we're going to reveal to you after the next episode. So that's in the future. So you need to come back and don't miss an episode because it's all building up and all setting the stage for the culture formula, which we're going to reveal. This is a formula. It's an actual formula. And through the genius of Tina Campbell, who came up with this, so I'm using her thing. This is her formula, that you can use this formula, apply it in your organization, and you can intentionally infuse the culture you want that builds an organization that is long-term, that brings up more than just profit. It brings value to the employees, to the members, and it becomes long-term a better running organization, as Steph, you can account for, because, you know, in your group, you know, you're the president of the Carmel chapter. You've got culture like oozing out of your chapter.
I just listen. It's just so super important to me, right? It really is. Just be kind to people. Just care about what they care about. Ask them things and find out what they care about, and care about them with them, right? Care about those things with them.
Yeah.
You know,
So we didn't reveal it, just so you know, you didn't miss
yeah.
it. We didn't reveal it. Not next episode,
The
but
following.
the 6th episode, we're going to reveal it. Do not miss it, because this is the key to all this, by the way. We're just this is all introduction stuff, right? When we get to that one, that's going to be a good episode.
Yeah, and then we're just going to explode after that, I think. Like we'll be like, you know, all kinds of but I still, you know, all right, we got to reel it back in a little, I think, Rob, because we got to close this out soon. But
We do.
look, so that was great.
Right?
It was great having Robert here. It was great discussing accountability. I hope you all got something out of it. If you could put what you got out of it in one word, put it in the chat. What's the one word you got out of this conversation with Robert in the chat? Please.
Yeah. And also, going back to one of the fun parts of what we do is here, if you were here early and you heard the song that Steph and I played when we kick this thing off, tell us what it is. We want to know. And look, if you missed it, don't be on time next time, because you want to win.
Yeah.
This. What do you win?
Yeah.
Our admiration and love. That's what you win.
I'll give you a great big hug when I see you in person.
Yeah, that's right.
How about that?
So Jean says ownership.
Yeah.
That's what her takeaway. And by the way, Chris Januski says ownership.
Ownership.
I think we got a theme going here of what this is.
What in one word, what was your takeaway from the conversation with Robert? In one word, guys.
And while that's coming up, we just want to say that episode 5 is on that 5th core value of results, and that's December 30th. So right smack dab between Christmas and New Year's. Hey, we're going to be here. And listen, New Year's Eve is not till the 31st. So no excuses. You come here.
Yeah,
it's an hour of your time. It'll be a blast.
And share this with your friends. I hope you've hit the share button so that you're sharing it on your Facebook page with other people that if you think it's valuable for them to share, and hopefully they'll get something out of it, and they'll have a whole lot of fun with us too.
Yeah.
Don't keep it a secret, right? Like we keep saying to people, if you like what we have in our meetings, invite a guest to come. If they share that, if you know somebody that would love that, share it.
Yeah. And like the Master Networks Inc. Facebook page, there's going to be a lot more great content, not just from us, but from other members and leaders around the country. Like that page now, please, because you're on Facebook. We know that, and you can be, in on the know when new stuff comes out.
And yes, so Jean said, "Are you asking us to be accountable to join you for number 5?" Yes, we are.
Very good. I see what you did there, Jean.
I love it. I love it. Hey, so Rob, why don't you play the song so we give them another chance to see if they can guess who it is and what the song is.
Sure, let's see. Since we had no guesses, because listen, you weren't there. You weren't there in the beginning. We know we called you out. So here's the song. You know what this is? You got to put it in the chat. But, so what's the name of the song? And bonus points, you know who sings it. And actually, you probably know who sings it more than you know the name of the song. So.
Yep. Probably.
Come on, we want to hear the answers. What's the name of the song and the artist for bonus points? I actually never heard this song before you mentioned it, Steph. Never heard this.
You never heard of it? You never heard this song? I love this song.
No, good song.
1, 2, 3, I'll be there.
Okay, we have no takers on the name of the song, so if you haven't guessed by now,
Count on
Count
me,
on me.
guys. You can count
get
on
that
Rob and I.
accountability.
We'll be here for you.
All right, let's close it out, Steph.
All right, guys. Don't forget this holiday, not just this holiday season, but always spread love wherever you go.
Please do. Spread love. Join us next time on Build
Love
a
you
Culture
guys.
Live. Everybody have a great night.
Have a great